welcome back to the Arnette Report. This is the interview that I've been looking forward to. You may remember Ron Wills with some of the organizations that he's been associated with, and now he's got GlobalCEO. He's here tonight to fill us in. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, how'd you get into this line of work anyway? I always wondered.
Well, GlobalCEO Solutions is a CEO advisory firm. It's a change management firm. And we also deal with some troubled companies and helping them out. And it really, honestly, it started almost 40 years ago at the beginning of my career, where I was thrown into some situations where we had to save a $1 billion division of a multi-billion-dollar company that I was working for at the time. And here I was, this youngster in my mid-20s, and thrown into a situation where we were suffering $25 million in losses. And so this is, and we had to resolve the issues that were underlying the problem, and we had to do it obviously in a very rapid time. This one division was about ready to take down the company. And so that was my first job, working for some of the top people in the financial industry. So from there, it began, and I was involved and asked to come in and work for a number of companies to do some turnarounds, and it has just grown from there.
Well, I know you've had a successful career in banking, vice president of several different banks in the area growing up, and so it doesn't surprise me that you're out there helping people, and going through this. Typically, who would benefit the most from working with you? Well,
we have 5 types of clients that we see most often, and the first one might be a little surprising, but it's those companies that are good but want to be great. And so those companies, they may be a $10 million revenue company, but they know in their hearts that they've got potential to grow the company. That's our primary target. But then there's companies that or owners that want to exit the company. And right now, Jeff, there is somewhere in the neighborhood of 66% of small to mid-market companies are being run by baby boomers, and they're going to be exiting those companies in the next 5 to 7 years. But we also work with companies that are looking to acquire to grow. So through acquisition, they want to grow. So we get involved in helping them do everything from helping them target acquisition clients, but also working with them once they acquire, is to bring the two cultures together and make sure everything works well. And then, other areas, if companies just have problems with staffing issues and they're ongoing issues, usually there's something else going on inside that company, and through our diagnostics, we uncover that. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, troubled companies, where the company could possibly be on its last legs. They've run out of options. They've done everything that they can think of doing to try to save the company, but haven't been able to do it. And that's the 5th group of the companies that we work with.
Well, I've got to ask you, typically, entrepreneurs are reluctant to let go and control to other key players. Do you find that CEOs themselves sometimes are the problem?
I did a talk on the mind of the CEO, and those traits that make a CEO great are often the same traits that can take down a company. What do you need? You need confidence. You need a lot of the confidence levels of CEOs is much greater than the population as a whole. You have to be, otherwise you'd give up. And that determination, never giving up, those can turn into stubbornness. They can turn into arrogance. And often, I think, with owners, it's the conversation that you have with them, and you talk about the issues. And there may be some reluctance at first to change, but they get it. And they know that they need help and that we can help them facilitate change in their company.
All right, there's going to be some of these guys out there now, some ladies that are running their company there that may be experiencing issues. So share with us some success stories.
Well, you think back on the different ones, and sometimes it's the toughest ones that you remember the most. we don't do many nonprofits, but I did a nonprofit. It was a 150-year-old institution, and they were about ready to go under. It was literally within months of making the decision to close it down. And I had an opportunity to go into that company, and we were able to pull together the constituencies, the alumni that went through the institution, the parents that brought the students to the school, the staff and the board of directors. And by putting those constituencies together, over a 5-year period, we were able to raise $13.5 million.
Wow.
And we turned the company around completely, rebuilt the entire campus. And they, you know, when I got there, they were under $5 million in revenue. When I left, it was over $15 million in revenue.
Gotta love that.
With those kind of challenges, and when you realize that there's nothing that can stop you, you know, so you get that confidence from those. So that's the type of accomplishment that you'll remember and you'll take with you to your dying days. And I think overall, what we try to do is we provide a return on investment at minimum of a 50% return on investment. So if our fees are $35,000, $50,000, it sounds like a lot of money, but within 12 months of our contract, we'll return 50% more than what they've paid out. And it's often, in some cases, I did this recently for a request of one of our clients. We've had over 2,000% return on investment of our time, our energy in the company as change management, and then hitting the bottom line for the company.
Wow. Well, how do most people find you?
Well, it's interesting. I have, years ago, started the National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. And it was an outgrowth of working with the business community for 35 years in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And that group, we put on educational activities for CEOs and senior executives. We have workshops. We help them. We partner with them to help them work with some of the industry leaders in their particular industry.
Right, and it was like a who's who of some of the key executives, some of the people that you had as guest speakers. I remember that.
Absolutely. We've brought in some of the top entrepreneurs in this area. David Trone from Total Wines and More, who built $1 billion revenue company. Yeah. Just this coming in 2 weeks, we're going to have Seth Goldman from Honest Tea, and he, you know, what a great story. But from his kitchen, he built a $400 million revenue tea company.
Before I let you go, what's on the horizon for you?
Well, we're looking to have opportunities, just sit down, talk to local business owners, and to grow our company and have an opportunity to work with them and help them through any issues that they may be having. So honestly, for us, the most fun that we have is just sitting down with business owners and figuring out ways that we can help them out.
Amen to that. So you've got some other things going on, and any way we could coax you into stopping back in a couple of months? And
we would love to do it. I would love to do it. Thank you.
And thanks again to our guests this evening, and we appreciate you stopping by the Arnette Report. Come again.